All right, we're going live. Wall Street sizing at 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We are live on YouTube. You have found Wall Street Sizing Up, sponsored by StockTrade.tips. If you're here, you probably already knew that. Hopefully you're new. The Telegram channel is going great. We're up to almost 200 folks in there. It is now free. We do accept tips. We've had some great conversations. This is basically the best stocks to trade that we're seeing now by a catalyst, and that's typically an insider buying, which is a 10% owner, a director or C-level executive, or hedge fund or a large fund in some cases. So I want to make you aware of that. It's the Telegram channel, StockTrade.tips. I get a lot of questions about that. That's where you can find us. In fact, that's our Twitter. I think Twitter is trading heavy. The YouTube is Wall Street Sizing Up, but you'll see the StockTrade.tips logo. So, all right, so we're going to do that. First and foremost, I want to talk to you about what we're doing on Power Hour as well. So, if you hadn't heard, we do something at the end of day, or the last trading hour of the day. We like to call it Power Hour. You see it there on the screen. You see the little logo that I just kind of came up with, right? Not a big deal. But here's the thing. Underneath it, before we start, again, it's the last hour of trading. Weird shit can happen the last trading hour of the day, and that's absolutely true. Just like weird shit happens at open, that's why, a lot of times we say, if you're a new trader, you really shouldn't trade the open, because you have order flow that's coming in from the night before, right? And the stock may, in pre-market be up, and boom, it opens up and it opens down. So up 5, now you're down 3. That happens. But the last hour also gets effing wild too, right? We like to call it Power Hour. If you hold or know of a stock that's on a rocket ride and you're in our Telegram channel, you tell us about it. You just put the ticker up and watch this, or a rocket symbol or whatever. Everybody goes to it. Everybody buys. Now, it's kind of legalized gambling to a certain extent, right? I haven't had a day where I've lost money, but it's mostly beer money. I'm not trading a huge amount of stock here. We're talking 10 to 50 shares, right? And I've had some slippage, so I'm going to have to, I was doing it on Robinhood, so do not cut me off right now. I do it on Robinhood because of the stocks to watch. I've got like 300, now it's at 310, right? And it's got the little, it's easier to find them. That's the only reason I do Power Hour on Robinhood. I don't use Robinhood, but that's the only reason I do it on Robinhood. So essentially, you simply call out the ticker. The more people that we have to find these stocks that are taking off, and you do find 2 or 3 a day that are taking off, and that you can get anywhere from 3. I think we've got between on a rocket ride. Sometimes they do lose money, and you got to cut them pretty quickly. But those 2 or 3 that you find that are really on a rocket ride, you'll see 3% to up to 29%. And we've done it now for the last 3 weeks. It's just awesome. It's just a really, really good time. I think I'm gonna start drinking when I do that. And then I might even live stream that, because it's just badass. It really is badass. So that is that. And so with that being said, let's go to the stocks. I'm also gonna talk to you about how do you find meme stocks. Basically, low float, high short interest. I've done it before, but I'm going to do it for you again, because I've got some questions, or I've had some questions about that. So we will do that. So with that said, and then I'm going to give you what's trending and what we're seeing in the penny stocks, right? I'm going to start to add options, probably starting in a week or 2 weeks. Starting to get into that a lot more. Again, if you're a new trader, don't trade options. It's stupid. I literally busted out my P&L last month because just doing stupid long shot options, and now I look at my P&L and go, I shouldn't have done that. So that being said, our first stock is ENVX, right? So we go to open in insider on this one. and we're going to find ENVX, right? So ENVX is, let me find it. Here it is right here on the screen. Let me soup this up for you a little bit. Boom, boom. So you get a little tighter in here. ENVX was traded on July 14th by Park West Asset Management. If you don't see anything here in this X column, D means this is an option. M means this is a multiple filing. This is nothing. So ENVX, this is a real one. At $14, it would seem like it was an option, or they got it probably at IPO. They bought $30 million worth. Park West Asset Management. Let's look at them. I did not have them on Finviz, so Finviz has not put them up yet. So, but we have it right here. So here's the thing with ENVX, right? So I'm gonna call this a YOLO stock because look, this thing's it hadn't been in business long. This is the 4-hour chart. In fact, there's not even really any technicals here. I'm gonna go to the opposite side. There's not really any. There's not enough technicals, but the volume's good. 1.1. It is in a downtrend. I like this stock because of who sized up on it and when. Now the 4-hour, the indicator indicates this thing's going straight down. The 2-hour indicates it's going straight down. So what I would do is on Monday I'd wait to trade this, but I do like this stock. It's a YOLO stock, just so you know. I believe it's got semi-low float too. So next up, DRTT. Now DRTT is a stock that we found on Open Insider as well. It's DRIT Environmental Solutions. We had a 10% owner size up on July 14th as well. But you can see that this is in a great up channel. This is for me, this would be more of a long-term stock. The float on this stock it's lower, but it's not real low, right? And there's not a lot of information on it. They are using debt, which is okay, but from just a technical perspective, it's on the upper range. It's banged up against the top part of the trend line. It's done it again. Monday, it could break out. I'm not telling you this is a rocket stock because it's not going to be, but for a short term, I believe this thing moves to $5, maybe even $6. It may take it a week or two, but I like DRTT. Insider owned, it's 22%, and they've had transactions, which we just saw on Open Insider. It's also 70% institutional owned, right? So that is one. Now, the thing with DRTT, you got to watch that. It is low volume, so one big sell or one buy will move the stock. Next up is HIBB. HIBB is HIBB Sports. HIBB Sports is my e-commerce company, mine and the wife's. We sell to them. So they are HIBB Sports, HIBB. You can see that I thought it was two sized up. Here's one both were on July 15th. Both were SVPs. One was a general counsel, one was a CIO, combined for almost $400,000. They bought it at $89 and $87. Here's the thing with HIBB Sports. I'm going off the top of my head here, guys. You see, again, up channel. Love the stock. It's a recovery stock. You got to know that. It's a retail stock. Here's the thing, too. They have a very, very low float. Under 15 million is the float, and the short is 15%. So could this be a meme stock? It absolutely could. I don't think people would, or I don't think that, I don't think the Wall Street best crowd is going to go after the stock. But you can see it's down. It's heading down. It's sitting on the 20-day SMA. It should bounce up off of that. It's got a new buy on it at 110. It's tested the top of the trend line twice now. The worst it could sink to would be about 77 and 110. So I'd say the symmetrical risk is pretty good here. It's not phenomenal. It's not true symmetrical risk, but I like it. It is in a downtrend, and we just had the two size up. The last really 2 and 3 days in the market, guys, we've had just some macro events. So all these, the typical individuals that have sized up on their own stock or the hedge funds, they just got blown out because of macro events. So that's what's going on here. I expect this to go back up into an uptrend. Now, it may be a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6%er. It's not going to be a 28%er. It's just not. But that's a good short-term and long-term stock. All right. Next up is AIM. I'm trying to move pretty quickly here. Now, AIM, let's find them over here on our AIM. So it's AIM Immutech, right? So you have the CEO. Now, here's the thing. With CEOs, it's a big deal. When they size up, it's a big deal. Even with, now, he went over 5%, so he added 7% to his position, only a $30,000 buy, but it's a $2 stock. So here's kind of where we are. It is going sideways. It does not have a low float. It's got a semi-low float. It's about 50 million. Anything under 50 million is a semi-low float. If you're under, I'd say 15, you're a very, very low float. And there's not a big short interest here. So here's what's going on. So the trend line, which it kept bouncing off of, the lower trend line, it broke that. Now it's broke it before, and when it broke it before, it went directly back up about 6%. So it looks like it broke it, and then it kind of did the same thing, but then it kind of settled in. I would expect this to break up. Again, I'm not a fan of this stock. This is just a stock to watch, but know that the next resistance is going to be right around the 210, because you've got both the 20 and the 50 SMA. So 210, 215-ish is where you're going to meet some resistance coming from 198. Let's see if I see anything else down here that as far as news goes. It is a biotech. It's going to be volatile. No, that's from July 9th. So AIM, again, this is a stock to watch. It's not one that we're really trading, not like the last two. All right, next up, we've got IMRA. Now, IMRA is a little... First of all, could this be a meme stock? Absolutely. It's biotech. Share float is 15 million. Short float is not high at all. Insider owned is above 14%, and institutionally owned is almost 90%. So somebody knows something here, because this thing has been flat since the middle of April, and since it was going down, but now it's settled in to a very, very tight range. It's just above the penny stock threshold. IMRA, let's look who sized up on it here. Kind of going off the cuff. IMRA, is it one down here? Did I miss it? IMRA, yeah, right there. So a director, he owns 10%. Oh yeah, so he bought $10 million worth. He increased his position by 66% at the $6 mark. So he is underwater in this trade already. So you can see that it was literally riding since June 1st. It's been riding the 20 and the 50-day moving average, which is moving about in sync, and then it broke out on July 12th. Well, what we found out was on July 14th, that's why this big down right here, they raised 50 million, so they got in right after that, and they expect to ride the stock back up at least to close to $8, and it sits at 5.56. So I really don't like the stock, but I'm not going to call it a YOLO because I do think it jumps up. That's IMRA. Just so you know, the technicals say sell. It's got, so from the analysts that cover it, it's got 3 buys and no sells. It has a price target of $7. I see it going back to 8 because that's where the trading range was. Well, a little bit below 8, 7.8, or 780 if you would. And it's got some serious hitters in this. It's got RA Cap, it's got Orbimed, and it's got James Flynn in Deerfield, all in this stock. That tells me something. So, all right, that's it for the stock side. That's IMRA. If you have any ideas, turn up your volume on my mic. Are you not? Well, it's probably because I'm not very close to the mic is why you're not hearing me. So when I scoot into the mic. Thank you, Theta Bulls. Hopefully that wasn't too bad. But anyway, all right. So let's see what's up with the penny stocks on Swaggy stocks. This is the sentiment on the pennies. For a long time, it had U at the top, and now we've got ATOS, which we've been trading in and out of. It's had really 2 or 3 bad days. CTXR, support, GAME, Wish, AMC, and Verb are all. These are all. Most of those are meme stocks. ATOS was one at some point. Zella, and we really like Zella XELA. Been trading in and out of that stock, even though that had a bad day. So that's what's going on with that. Let's see. I want to do one more. Let's do the rankings over on stock twit. So if you don't, so here's what's being talked about the most active. AMC, Doge, of course. Doge is up 12% to 20 cents. OCGN, RCAT, which we actually caught the end of that, and it was an absolute rocket on Friday during power hour. It was awesome. That was some really kick-ass shit there. SHIB's up. Shiba Inu. So let's see what's really trending. There's a baby Doge and a daddy Doge, if you didn't know. Also, what is going on with crypto right now? We'll just check in. 31.8, about where it was yesterday. Remember on the 18th, so tomorrow, the GBTC unlock is going to happen. I keep seeing this. Oh, it's going to crash. I will say this about Bitcoin. If you keep bumping on 31 or the 30K support, at some point it's going to give way. It's been a fairly easy trade for the last month now, right? But if you keep bumping on that support, at some point it's going to give way. I hope it does not do it on the 18th. The reason that it could is because, one, it's a Sunday, and there's not a lot of whales around on Sunday or institutional investors. So if it does pop to 29.28, I would bet that it jumps right back up on Monday. So that's my thought on Bitcoin, and on, if you're not a fan of Bitcoin, a lot of people aren't. I'm not a Bitcoin maximalist, but I love Bitcoin. You still got to root for Bitcoin, because guess what? Bitcoin sets the tone for all of crypto. Period. Full stop. All right. Next up, we're going to go to how to find meme stocks real quick. Finviz.com. You can find anything. It's a free scanner. What most of your stock gurus do, most, not all, is they do a scanner in the morning, and they basically do about this scan. They probably tweak it some, depending on numerous factors, right? But if you go to Finviz, you hit the screener, go to screener. You can get a better screener if you want to go. If you want to pay for it, it's $30 a month. I've got a different screener, but this is the easiest one for you guys. One, because it's free. So you want to go market cap. Meme stocks are under $10 billion. Price is typically under 20, not all the time, but typically under 20. The float is typically, the short float is typically over 10. Again, typically. You want to make sure it's optionable. The current volume, you want it really over 1 million to, if you want to see a real rocket, but sometimes, so I do the current volume is over 500K. And you want to make sure the float, so that's the shares that are tradable, right? Not outstanding, but are tradable under 50 million. Typically, that's going to be less as well, too. But when you go down here, you want to go to ownership. Then you want to click float and short float, right? So here's the 10 percenters. Let's go to the high short interest of the float. You will recognize these names: MRIN, MMAT, AGC, Archon, Support, BCEL, YALA, KPLT, CVM, ATR, OSW, KLA. Should I keep going? I guess I will. HGN, LCI. All these have been meme stocks. This is how you find it. Okay? So for all the guys out there on the Telegram and you want to scan and pre-market, boom. There you go. A lot of times, you want to see the price within 5% or 10% of its all-time high, because all-time highs beget all-time highs, just so you know. Typically. Love that word today. All right. Also, if you didn't know, so you go to ownership tab. This, where all this is, it's in the all tab, right? So you'll see the descriptive, fundamental, technical, all tab. Just pause it here and pause the video here, and just go plug these in and go to work and do it in the morning. Like a lot of my guys get up at 6:30. It's when I wake up and I get in the Telegram channel with them, and we start discussing pre-market. And I'll be real honest with you. Pre-market, unless you're trading pre-market, pre-market at 6:30 versus pre-market at 8:15, completely different. Totally, almost uncorrelated. Almost, right? And that's just happened literally in the past, I'd say 2 or 3 weeks, from what I've seen. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. Another want to also biztoc.com. It's a Mark Cuban backed, but you can set all of your anything that you read on here. This is where I get a lot of links. This is where I read quickly between trading. I don't trade all day. Again, we've got an e-commerce company. I don't have all day to trade. I typically do swing trades, but Power Hour, it's on, baby. It really is. I mean, I'm focused. It's fast. It's furious. Stocks that I can't find, guys find. I think it was John found our cat on Friday. That's a 20% up. I wish I had gone heavy then, but I did not. So that happened. What else? I guess that's it. So with that said, guys, hey, we are here. I'm going to try to go more live during the week. I've had a hell of a cough. I think I got that RCV, whatever it's but it was a hell of a cough. My kid got it from school. I really thought it was a freaking Delta variant, and I'm vaccinated too. But that cough is nothing compared to the cough that I had. So that said, guys, hey, you watch your six, you go hard to paint. Get on the Telegram. It's in the description and link. You'll see the link below. It's free. Jump in and dude, add to the conversation. I don't care if it's a dumb question or not. Right? Sometimes questions go unanswered. Most of them don't. Right? Especially when things start to move fast. Especially when we're in Power Hour. If you're asking a question about a stock, probably not going to get answered then. So, but with that said, it's an awesome group in there. Again, it's free. It's just tips. So with that said, guys, watch your six, go hard and paint. We'll see you next time. Thanks again.